Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 2, powered by AMD, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. Welcome. Today is finally the quarterfinals, and we will be streaming the upper brackets. We have 2 games today for you guys, but it is a best of 3. So the first game for today will be EXCEELI Esports versus SANE Rebellious Gaming. My name is Apollonia. I'll be your host and caster, and joining me is CA, caster, and analyst. Are you feeling excited?
So excited. We had the 1 day of break from streaming to get ready for these intense matches to come. Now we're in the quarterfinals upper bracket, so every team fighting for their chance to try to make it to the grand finals. I have to say, that already from Series 1, like the matches look so much closer, so much more intense. So you can see the teams just using their time and experience to prep for these.
All right, so this matchup, EXCEELI Esports versus SANE Rebellious Gaming, I think it's going to be a close one. That's going to be my predictions. For you guys, let us know in the chat how you think this will come about. Now, SANE Rebellious Gaming, I do believe that they are from India. We have seen them a couple of times, and you did mention that Clone is one of the guys that got the most number of MVPs, 4 MVPs. And for EXCEELI Esports, they are representing Bangladesh, and there is also Sammy that has 5 MVPs. So Clone is just trailing behind. What are your thoughts, and what do you think we can expect today, CA?
So it's a matchup between number 1 on the MVP list versus number 2 on the MVP list. Clone just 1 MVP behind, but not too far behind because he has ACS of more than 400 across those 4 games. So definitely an explosive player. I think EXCEELI, they've shown proficiency on Ascent particularly. And so I'm really excited to see what they're able to do there. But I do think Rebellious is a bit of a dark horse in this match because we've seen so much consistency from Rebellious. I think they have a decent chance of pulling this match through. It's going to be all about Sammy and Clone and about which player steals the limelight today. Because both of these players, if they start popping off, there's no stopping them.
Indeed. Now let's move over into the map screen and let's see which 3 maps will be up for today. Now, the first map pick, which was chosen by EXCEELI Esports, is Ascent, and map 2 was selected by SANE Rebellious Gaming. And if we do go into a map 3, that is going to be split. So now, Ascent, we know EXCEELI is so comfortable on this map. We've seen comebacks, we've seen them just pull off insane plays. Now, this being their map pick, how do you think SANE Rebellious Gaming is going to respond here?
Yeah, so what you said, we've seen EXCEELI 4 times in a sense. So if I was saying Rebellious right now, I would go back to every single one of those games, try to understand exactly what EXCEELI is doing and how they play the map, because there's so many different ways to play Ascent. You can play in a really aggressive manner, or you can play in a controlled manner, try to take mid control and push from there. And EXCEELI, they have a very particular playstyle that we've seen so far. Rebellious, on the other hand, they played 1 Ascent and 3 Bind, and on that second map pick, it's Rebellious who picked Bind. We've never seen EXCEELI on Bind, so I do favor Rebellious a bit for map 2. So in the first game, it's all about, like, I think the ball is completely in Rebellious's court. They have the information and they have the wads to go and prepare for the match. If they're able to pull off an upset, I think they have a huge advantage going into map 2. But if EXCEELI are comfortable looking on map 1, we've seen how good Sammy can get with momentum. If you give that man momentum, he's just going to run away with the match.
Indeed, this is going to be a huge battle because EXCEELI Esports, the last time around in Series 1, they only made it up to the round of 32. So now to see them in the quarterfinals, this is just massive. And I'm pretty sure they want to keep representing where they are from and, you know, just make their supporters proud because they do have a very large fan following. So a lot is on the line for EXCEELI Esports. As for SANE Rebellious Gaming, you know, a bunch of guys, they want to go competitive. Everything is just on the line for them as well. You know, competition is going to get so tough. So probably, you know, it's going to be 3 maps here. Do you think it's going to be 3 maps? I mean, considering that Ascent might go into the favor of EXCEELI and Bind into the favor of Rebellious Gaming.
I certainly hope so, because I'm really excited to see both of these teams on Split. We've seen EXCEELI once on Split, but I have to say they looked a bit shaky against Playground Esports. Rebellious, on the other hand, we've never seen them, so it would be a really exciting Game 3. But for Game 1, Ascent, EXCEELI with the Sammy pick, we see him. Rebellious with the race pick for Clone. We see just standard picks overall. What I'm really interested about is the Reyna coming in for Rebellious. That's a bit of like a slightly newer pick for me. Strokey on the Reyna. He is the duelist player. We've seen him on the Phoenix. We'll see how they're able to utilize this. In terms of Bear comps, though, I do favor EXCEELI just a little bit more because they have more consistent picks overall.
Indeed, and now kicking this first map off in the quarterfinals, best of 3. This is the upper brackets, guys. SANE Rebellious Gaming on defense and EXCEELI Esports in attack. And we can see this is EXCEELI actually taking it slow. Now, the last time around, watching EXCEELI, we did notice that they did amp up the game. They're a lot more disciplined, and that was ultimately the growth that we were looking for coming out from EXCEELI Esports. And there is going to be the attack. They are pushing onto A side. This is Tchaikovsky on Rafters, looking for a pickoff, but he's just going to back away. And the defenders might give this plant, but Tchaikovsky gets first blood onto Ace. 4 more members left on EXCEELI Esports. The spike has been planted, and SANE Rebellious Gaming, they're going to attempt for the retakes.
Foolish.
Psychovsky finds Sammy, and Official Buster takes down Hate Crew. That was just so quick. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, back and forth, but the clock is ticking, and that's going to be the 3rd kill for Psychovsky. Zolo finds 2, and Khan with the last kill. SANE Rebellious Gaming coming in really dominant, just taking the first round for themselves.
This is what I meant, right? Like, Rebellious, they always look so strong in defense. We've seen Psychovsky on the Cypher every single time. The way he's able to hold down the site right here, from Rafters alone, so good. Gets like 3 kills for himself in the process. Buys so much time for his team to rotate. So, for me, like, despite like how other matches go, I think this match, the first half, is so important because EXCEELI, on the same hand, they're just as good on defense. It's going to come down to whether EXCEELI can push their home map advantage and take the lead in the attacking side, because I feel like if you give Rebellious the lead in their first half, it might just be a bit too much to give for Rebellious.
And Psychovsky on the Cypher just so consistent there. He was key to defending, and it's those darn Cypher players that will always manage to take you out. But Zolo this time finds the first kill on the clone, and it is a full, it is a bit to buy for SANE Rebellious Gaming at least, but it is an eco for EXCEELI Esports. But taking out 2 members off the bat is going to be very advantageous. Shoki chimes in, finds Sammy, and 3 members on the side of EXCEELI Esports, they are really low, so they would have to coordinate this. But Khan does find Hate Crew, and EXCEELI Esports put in a tough spot. But Zolo, he looks to be the man to carry this. He found the first kill, and now taking down another member. Zolo, he's very exposed, and Shoki finds him.
One
Off
enemy
that
remaining.
invisibility, Psychovsky comes in, takes out Ace, and the last man standing here is Fancy, and that's going to be a triple for Strokey. Well played by SANE Rebellious Gaming. It seems like they have no troubles at all going for the retake on the side of defense. So even if you get the spike planted against Rebellious Gaming, you got to worry about them because they're pretty damn good at reclaiming their territory.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's why I'm so skeptical about EXCEELI going into the first half, because I do think they need to put up a strong showing. Having said that, as you mentioned, this was their eco round. They're going to be pretty happy with the fact that they managed to take down 3. Got the weapon spike plant for themselves, which will give them extra credits. And now going into the 3rd round, which is their buy round, they'll be looking to pull it back. I also really like the strategy they adopted for the 2nd round, where they push through mid and try to take control through there. You see the full buy coming in for EXCEELI, but Fancy with no shields, I have to wonder about that because he did have the credits for it. So perhaps just forgetting to buy?
Looks like, yeah, missing armor there. Could be a spectator's bug there, but nonetheless, let's move in. And this is the 3rd round, full buys, EXCEELI Esports. They've got to make this round count. SANE Rebellious Gaming is really strong here, and I do feel that Ascent is a more defense-favored map, but we have seen teams just pull an insane performance on the side of attack, going very offensive. They have more of an aggressive playstyle, and it works for them. But this EXCEELI, they're taking things slow, and Clone manages to find a kill with that grenade. He is just so consistent, always delivering, and that duel is going to put Hate Crew at the top. Zolo finds one as well. 2 HP, and Official Buster. Breach to breach. Zolo had to go down, and now that's going to be a 3v3 with 30 seconds left on the clock as EXCEELI manages to make their way onto B side. Now Buster changes his position, but Fancy's going to catch him off guard, and the spike will be planted. 2v3 situation. Let's see if the last 2 will be able to go for this retake and clutch it out.
Yeah, the strategy adopted by EXCEELI, one I'm a huge fan of. They try to take ground, positioning multiple players across the different places on the map. You saw 2 in B, 2 in mid, and 1 in A, trying to get any sort of gunfight advantage in either side. Once they're able to get a couple kills down mid, they take advantage of that, push through mid, and then go into B. Now with the spike planted though, this is the true test. It's 2v3, but we know how good Rebellious are on retakes, and just as I say that, Strokey with 1, Psychovsky moving in, we'll get one more, but we'll get taken down by a hiding Sammy. Sammy versus Strokey. Strokey gets the 3rd, and that will mean the buy round. No, it will not mean the buy round win for Rebellious, because the spike goes off, and wow, we're only in the 3rd round of this match, Apo, and it's already looking so intense.
For a moment, I was a little bit confused. I was like, why was Sammy running away? It just looked a little bit uncharacteristic. And only to realize that, oh, wait, the spike is about to go boom. So, I think that was worse. Both sides, they don't have any weapons to keep. But that is going to be the first round for EXCEELI Esports. And, that is going to be a turn into a better direction for the attackers in terms of gaining a little bit of momentum and a little bit of a feel on what it takes to get a successful plant off. Not the best plant scenario, but hey, a round is a round. Now, moving in, we can see Buster here with the pistol, and Rebellious Gaming might just go for this eco here, and Sammy finds the first kill. Just might want to shut that metal door, not gonna do that, just hit straight onto the site. EXCEELI, it seems like they are in love with the B side after the first failed attempt in round number 1 on the A side. So if B works, go with it. But Clone one taps Hate Crew, so clean, so sharp, so precise. Absolutely insane, CA.
He is the top player for Rebellious, so definitely stepping up. But Sammy and Clone getting 1 kill each will mean a 3v3. I definitely like the fact that EXCEELI is staying true to the B side, because we talked about how good Tchaikovsky is on A, so staying away from him is pretty strong. And now Sammy with the third 3v2 for EXCEELI. This was the eco round for Rebellious, so they have to pull through, and they do just that. Rebellious, they got 2 kills, which is not a bad trade, but EXCEELI, they're going to be very, very happy with that. That was their buy round, and now they're in a very comfortable spot economically. The next buy round will decide who takes the momentum swing in this match.
I mean, CA, we did predict a very close match today because, spectating both these teams, you could see that their strengths, their weaknesses, they were really similar. But ultimately, they have a different play style. And EXCEELI Esports, toning it down seems to kind of have worked because they are coming out on top a lot more calculated. You just see a lot more unity amongst EXCEELI Esports. But, I mean, we can't get it twisted. SANE Rebellious Gaming, at this point, they've been pretty consistent as well, making it all the way to the quarterfinals in the upper brackets. They did just as good of a job as EXCEELI Esports. And them being able to go for these retakes is really cool. But right now, this round is probably going to set a little bit of a gap, or it could be just, like a seesaw, very back and forth.
Yeah, definitely. Now you see EXCEELI though making a hard push onto A. 1-for-1 as Hate Crew takes 1 down, but Clone answers back. Ace with another, as Clone will miss that showstopper, but it's EXCEELI who's currently looking like they're coming out on top. And with Tchaikovsky down, holding down A site is so much harder. They're waiting for Buster to make the rotation back so they can try to use the flashes. But Clone goes a bit too early, gets a kill, but will get answered back. And trades right now are really good for EXCEELI because they're trying to hold on the site. And they're able to do just that, 4v2. I have to say right now, as you mentioned, EXCEELI, they just look a bit more united and calm in the sense that we see that bit of chaos from EXCEELI in the previous rounds that we're not seeing. I love that because I think it's starting to play with Rebellious's mindset, because EXCEELI, they're playing much slower than you would expect EXCEELI to play right now.
Right.
So Rebellious perhaps second-guessing their decisions.
Indeed, that's exactly what I felt. So, from the last time around, like the last round, which was the round of 16, EXCEELI Esports just looking more disciplined, more coordinated. It kind of sparks the thought like, wait, is this actually the turning point for EXCEELI Esports? Now they find themselves with the 1-round lead. But then again, it's too early to tell, but let's keep that thought at the back of our head. Let's see if EXCEELI Esports will keep it going, or if SANE Rebellious Gaming will be able to, just play with them a little bit, put in those mind games and their mental torture. But that is going to be Ace with the spray. Zolo, meanwhile, finds the first kill, and that is going to be the opportunity. Zolo consistently finds these kills, but a Buster there, so quick to take down Fancy, who was shining, had a highlight clip. Just not a good round this time, but Buster might just be taken down by the seismic blast. Zolo once again, that's going to be 2 kills for him. Hate Crew chimes in, finds 1, and that leaves SANE Rebellious Gaming with the 2 members, Tchaikovsky and Strokey. Both of them, it seems like they're always the last two standing, but it seems like it's also an eco round, so, EXCEELI Esports should take this one. And Tchaikovsky shot down to 20 HP. Strokey does find Ace. Gonna overheal from that, and Hate Crew takes him out. Perfect timing, but Tchaikovsky here. This is a tough one to ask for, CA. 1v3 situation with just a tick of health.
Yeah, the most difficult part of all this is that he doesn't even have a gun that he can choose to save. So just in a very difficult position overall, because he would ideally like to go for the gunfights, get as many kills as he can, but knowing that he's not going to win, just not a huge choice. Now with the bomb ticking down, you see the members of EXCEELI just rotating out, and they don't want to take the risk whatsoever into fighting them. I do believe that we're seeing a bit of perhaps a technical issue come out for the side of EXCEELI, with Sammy just waiting in base, so we'll have to see how that pans out. But for Rebellious, I think a really important thing right here is that they need to start answering back. You cannot, I repeat, you simply cannot give EXCEELI the score advantage. Even 6-6, I think, is favorable to EXCEELI once they go on the defensive side, because we talked about how Ascent is a defense-favored map, and knowing how good EXCEELI looks, Rebellious, they need to take a lead in the attacking side, or I fear the map just may be over for Rebellious.
Indeed, I do. If I do recall correctly, Zolo is the IGL for EXCEELI Esports, and him being on this breach, this initiator, especially in attacking, you know, that is, you know, you're doing the job right if you have 8 kills on a breach in attack. On Ascent, you pretty much know that you're doing a job. So Zolo there, props to him for definitely leading his team in the right direction. The last couple of rounds, we did see that he got the opening frags, or he has at least secured 2 kills on his side. So that is, you know, an advantage like that becomes massive when the competition is so tight. And yes, indeed, there is a technical difficulty. There might be a while before we come back. So guys, do stay tuned. Remember to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you get notifications whenever we are live. And this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 2, powered by AMD, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice.
Alright guys, welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 2, powered by AMD, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. The pause has been unpaused, and now we are back with the game. So from where we left off, we had SANE Rebellious Gaming leading very dominantly. They got the first 2 rounds, but EXCEELI Esports bouncing back with 4 rounds in a row. But that's going to be Buster finding Zolo, and we just saw a Cypher bunny hop away, but Strokey finds that double. Buster chimes in, and that's going to be all of EXCEELI being taken down, and Sami falls as well. But coming back after that small technical difficulty, SANE Rebellious Gaming just switched it up and took them completely by surprise with their very aggressive push through B main.
Yeah, I don't think EXCEELI were expecting that at all. Sort of caught with their pants down right there. But you see, Rebellious, like, I genuinely love the way they approach that, because they seem to have reset their mental and being like, guys, we do not have to be the textbook where like Rebellious. We can also switch it up like how EXCEELI is switching it up, and we can try to play a bit more aggressive using their flashes perfectly, enabling Strokey on the Reyna to really step up. So Rebellious looking really good. I'm gonna be really interested to see how this matchup goes. But EXCEELI want to adapt, now getting the first blood. Sami opening it up, not looking to hard push to A before they get a couple picks, and now that they have, they will look to commit. You can see the rotations come out from multiple members. 4v3 right now for EXCEELI as they look to drive this home.
Oh my goodness, Sami comes in with the 3k. That's an angry Sami indeed. But, you know, just fighting all these frags, that's gonna be the 4th. And he might just find the ace here. Sami, the comeback, that's gonna be an ace. Oh my goodness, Sami with a vengeance. He didn't need no help. He single-handedly just walked right in and found kill after kill after kill. And, you know, Rebellious Gaming, having witnessed that and being the victims of Sami, they have to be a little bit more smart and a little bit more sharp when it comes to communication, because Sami coming here for the 4th kill, it's almost like Clone had no clue. And that just feels like a little bit of a breakdown there.
Yeah, they're caught completely unaware, but Sami just absolutely playing out of his mind, getting headshot after headshot, playing so aggressive. As you said, perhaps just a little bit angry that they got the aggressive advantage onto him the last round, but now aggressively pushing into B-side. Fancy with the opening kill, they'll be able to get the spike down, but Clone answered back with 2. Has the showstopper if he wants to do so. Both the duelists on either side just absolutely popping off this game. I'm loving it.
Oh man, Zolo just gonna switch the gun with the skin. So why not? But Khan does find Zolo there. And it's gonna be a 2v2. Sami does find another. Sami's on a tick of health though. And this was another aggressive play. But SANE Rebellious Gaming definitely more prepared, and they take this round. That's gonna be 4-5. This is gonna be a seesaw. I don't think we can claim which team looks more dominant over the other, because it's just a matter of which team pulls out the right strategy at the right time, catching the other one off guard. Because, you know, this is the spiciest quarterfinals game that I think we've ever had. Just right off the bat, you know, both teams, they're not even playing like how they are used to playing. We're just seeing a lot of different thought processes here. But now moving into the next one, we see Strokey has 10 kills and Sami with 11. Now both of them battling out. So it's good to see that Rebellious Gaming, they don't just have one player which is Clone that they're just completely relying on. They have, you know, all the players around the board. They are able to carry their own weight.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important. I think we're mostly seeing both teams pushed out of their comfort zone by each other, which is resulting us in seeing new faces to either team. But now you see a calm, collected push from EXCEELI as they just want to slow things down a bit. They were a bit too aggressive towards the post-spike plant in the last round. See, they did spot out Strokey right here, and they will look to see if they want to go for that A push or instead rotate all over to B. Bit undecisive right now, looking for picks down in mid. They will not be able to find one just yet because Rebellious playing really smart, playing really defensive. But EXCEELI, they've taken control of a lot of ground in the site, but Ace not getting his shots through will mean Karn gets the time to load up his operator, get that kill. Hekru answers back though, so it's 4v4 right now, and mid control has gone over to EXCEELI. They'll be looking to make their way to B.
Ooh, that was a bit of a slip up from Ace there, but you know, hey, it happens. It seems like EXCEELI, they do have their sights set, and that's going to be a dashing Sammy, and Clone responds, but the showstopper unfortunately doesn't connect. But Clone's still going to spray anyway, finds Sammy. Hekru does take down Buster, Zolo finds Saikovsky, and Rebellious Gaming left with only 2 members. Clone, just as he waits for his teammate with the backup, try and look for a pickoff, and there it is, but Zolo takes out Clone, and this looks more in favor of EXCEELI as Hekru wraps it up with his 3rd kill. Now, Hekru just coming in, getting all the frags, EXCEELI as well, very even on their roster, you know, everyone can step up when it's needed. It's just a really good game. Now, EXCEELI Esports, this gives them, you know, 2 rounds ahead of their opponent. Now, the thing about momentum, I feel like both these teams have a momentum going. It's just a case of, you know, how they're going to execute it. Now, SANE Rebellious Gaming, they may be 2 rounds behind, but they do still seem like their head is very much in the game. And I like to point out that they did opt for the Reyna. We do see lesser Reynas as, you know, the competition gets tougher. But for Rebellious Gaming, that is going to be their go-to, their comfort. And Strokey, you know, he has all the chance in the world to just be as aggressive as he would like. Now, Sammy leading the charge again. The last time he did this, he got an ace. So let's see if he will do it a 2nd time here, CA. But that's the dash in.
That Rolling Thunder to initiate and try get some value out of it. They don't get direct value, but they get entry into this site and 3 kills to boot. So EXCEELI looking really strong here. Already picked up 6 rounds. Any round they get now will just cement their advantage. Clone, I have to say in the previous round, a bit sort of out of communication from his teammate right here too. Just playing a bit erratic, I would say, from Clone. Not exactly what I was expecting coming into this match. Because even in the previous round when Ace set up the dark covers, Clone not expecting where the dark cover would be and not checking Zolo's spot meant that he ended up getting taken down. Right here, even going a bit too early as compared to his team meant that he got taken down at the end. But EXCEELI, they're looking so damn good when they make these aggressive plays. I know how good they can be on the defense with the operator. So, like, this is starting to look really hard for Rebellious. And rightfully so, because we will remember this is EXCEELI's home map. EXCEELI picked Ascent, and they're much better at adapting in the game to it as compared to Rebellious.
Indeed, and it seems that Rebellious Gaming, they are forcing buys here. They don't have as superior weaponry, but let's see how they're going to do this. Now, Buster is just going to back off 34 HP. Going to drop that flash. And does he have any clue that Zolo has changed positions? But he's just going to hide for a bit. Seems like he does have an idea. But Sammy finds the kill as meanwhile, EXCEELI Esports infiltrated mid, completely just putting Rebellious Gaming in a very frantic state, I would say. And there it is, Clone. He does find Fancy with the Stinger. We don't see the Stinger often, but, you know, Clone, if somebody's going to make it work, it's going to be Clone. And there is the Neural Theft. Enemies compromised, and they have the positions, but Rebellious Gaming, they could go for this. They have picked up the weaponry, but Zolo just pops out and picks up a double, and that might just be a wrap for Rebellious Gaming. Strokey does find Ace, so a consolation kill, you could say. The spike is ticking, and Strokey still making his way in, spots one, and the fault line connects. Zolo in perfect timing there. That's going to be a triple to end it off, and puts EXCEELI Esports with a 4-round lead.
Yeah, you can definitely see like the improvement in EXCEELI where it's coming from, because Zolo literally leading the charge. Yeah, like it seems like he sets the pace for the team, and now that he's having such a good game, such a calm game, like him on the breach, much more fluent and much more fluid, I would say, as compared to other breaches. Like he knows exactly the timing he needs to step out of his peeking site to coordinate with the fault line. So the rest of the team just rallying behind him, looking so good. EXCEELI with the 8-4 advantage in the side. I genuinely thought Rebellious was preferred in the defensive side. Now on the defensive side for EXCEELI, Rebellious, they really need to pull something out of the hat and look really aggressive. Sammy with an interesting dash to start it all off, perhaps just flexing on the other team. But this is the pistol round, and we saw how Rebellious looked in the previous pistol round, so they need to start answering back immediately if they are going to.
Oh, Zolo and Strokey does find the kill as well, but didn't check his back. Turned around a bit too quick there, Sammy. Comes in. Might be a double here. He's just gonna back away. The paranoia does connect. Sammy waiting for it to disappear. And 3v4. Rebellious Gaming losing 2 members. This is gonna be a tough one. EXCEELI Esports now going in with the rotate. They have an idea that they might be on B side, but the spike hasn't made its way just yet. And Rebellious Gaming having a little bit of mishap there. They could have gone for the plant, but Hate Crew finds Khan. And this is going to be a tough one as Zolo does take down Tchaikovsky. Last man standing is Buster.
Dead.
Spike won't be planted. He does find Zolo. 1v3 situation. And
30
Buster
seconds left.
still has a spike. Just going to take his time. Fake defuse. Just to bait it out a little bit. 45 HP. Buster. The fact that EXCEELI isn't going in ham just shows you the new discipline, and that is going to be a triple kill from Buster. How does he do
10
it? 10
seconds
seconds,
left.
15 HP. That took away 30 HP, but it might just be the end for him as Hate Crew finds the kill. But that was a stressful situation, and it was shocking because EXCEELI didn't just run in. Usually in EXCEELI fashion they would have, but they stayed and they waited. Now Buster picking up that double kill was just absolutely insane, but unfortunately time was not on his side, and Hate Crew was there to clean it up and put a bow on the round as a gift to EXCEELI Esports. 9 rounds for EXCEELI. This is gonna be good, CA.
Yeah, definitely. Like, EXCEELI, as you mentioned, right? Previously, in a 3-1 advantage, I would have 100% expected them, all 3 of them, just to charge in, look for that kill. They don't do that. Instead, wait. Buster looks really good as he gets 2, but Hate Crew playing it really patient, gets him on the spike plan. 9-4 for EXCEELI. Right now, for Rebellious, they need to start picking up rounds. This is the eco round, so they can't let go of this one, but from the next wide round onward is going to be really important. The key difference for me in both of these teams is how confident EXCEELI seem right now and how confused Rebellious seem. Because Rebellious, they tried different plays, they tried their standard play, and while they got 4 rounds, they don't necessarily seem to be working in general. EXCEELI, on the other hand, they have the aggressive play, they have the more control play where they take mid control, and they have Sammy who just pops up in the middle of every single fight, getting random headshots, carrying his team. So EXCEELI definitely looking like the more comfortable team in this map right now, and that's what we would expect.
I'm starting to think that EXCEELI Esports might have just got into the heads of SANE Rebellious Gaming, because now they're just the way that they're playing isn't, you know, reminiscent of their best capability, I would say. So Rebellious Gaming, it's a tough one for them. But Ace finds the first kill onto Tchaikovsky. Khan there with the return kill, and 4v4. Now, 2 players lingering in courtyard, and it seems like Clone might just meet up with Zolo, and Zolo does find the kill onto Clone. But Strokey here, meanwhile, looking for that right time to push into A. Now, B side is completely barren, and it's a 3v4 situation. Now, Zolo, crazy indeed. That's how he has been, just pulling off these kills, these attacks, and that's Zolo once again taking down Buster, just proving to be the more dominant breach in this matchup. He did spot the spike being dropped, so EXCEELI Esports, they have that information, and it looks like it's going to be 11 rounds. But Khan finds Fancy, and he does turn around, picks up Zolo. Is this going to be the 4th here for Khan? Just patiently, quietly waiting for the right time to show us what he's about, but Sammy takes him down. And it's a 1v1 situation, but Strokey is going to come out on top. And that's going to be Rebellious Gaming with 5 rounds for themselves. Just as I said that EXCEELI Esports got into their head, they just tried to prove me wrong right there.
Yeah, definitely. I think Karn played that round brilliantly. He is able to hide in that shadow for a while knowing that the rest of the team is at A. And just when he knows that they're going to start rotating, steps out from there, goes towards the mid-market side, expecting them to walk right into him. And that's exactly what they do. Turning at the exact times, Karn, that momentum swing for his team going to be absolutely huge. We'll take a quick look at the scorecard, see how everyone is doing in terms of buys in general. You see, semi-buys for Rebellious and semi-buys for EXCEELI, so this round going to be really important. You see, Sammy with the Sheriff, I think that's because he doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so just choosing to save for the Operator, I assume. But 10-5, and it's Rebellious once more getting the first blood. Rebellious looking to answer back, pull the momentum back in their favor.
Oh, perfect timing there. And Buster does pick up the kill on Sammy. You might see that Seismic Blast as well. Buster finds a double, and that's going to be Hate chiming in. But EXCEELI Esports falling one by one. Buster picks up a triple kill this round, and that must be an answer to Zolo's performance lately. But Fancy last man standing, the spike drops, and he just has to defend this. But it's a 1v3 situation now. All three of them are extremely low. They could line up for an attack, but it looks like they're using their skills in unison, and that's going to be a triple for Fancy, but Clone, too quick, found the right time, and took his life. That's going to be 6 rounds for SANE Rebellious Gaming from what looks like a little bit of a comeback here from the attackers.
Yeah, definitely, but I think the next round will decide it all. What I really like about SANE Rebellious Gaming is that they're using their composition really well. They have the Breach, the Reyna, and the Omen, and together that comes up to about 6 flashes, I believe. So the fact that they're going mid every single time and looking to use their flash to peek aggressively against, knowing that EXCEELI usually has a minimum of 1 person mid, with the Operator especially, getting the advantage there and then looking to commit with the help of their flashes. Really good adaptation from them, but Clone gets the kill onto Sammy. Fancy answers back, but Clone, he looks so aggressive and he's able to get the gunfight wins every single time.
Indeed, and Strokey manages to sneak in, finds the kill on Ace and Zolo, and it seems like EXCEELI was a little bit shaky there on the mental as Rebellious Gaming just gained a lot of momentum and they're riding with it now. Hey Crew, last man standing, but he's taken out by Tchaikovsky. 7-10. I didn't think this was going to happen, but it seems like the side swap has definitely lit some kind of flame on the side of Rebellious Gaming.
Yeah, definitely. I think we saw this in both teams actually, because EXCEELI on their attack, they lost the first 2 rounds, but then they started pulling back in the 3rd round and they were able to do it in a really amazing fashion. Rebellious looking the exact same way, looking to replicate that form of EXCEELI. And once again, like, something I wouldn't expect out of Rebellious is the creativity in which they're doing so. The last 2 rounds, they were more focused on mid control. Now knowing that their opponents will probably have recognized the same, going for a much more different playstyle. 3 members on A, the Cypher lurking, sorry, 2 members on A, the Cypher lurking mid, and 2 members on B, trying to just catch out any sort of aggressive play by EXCEELI. Knowing Sammy's likelihood to make that aggressive push and catch him out, but EXCEELI, they're smart too. They're just holding back. They're waiting. They know how important this matchup is. Now, I think Rebellious will end up committing to A, so we'll see how this goes.
Indeed, and Ace is going to pop the ultimate and realizes that he's going to be taken out. But that does give him the information, so not all is lost. But Sammy finds the first kill onto Tchaikovsky. See the Raise Nate coming in. But Cypher seems to be in a relatively safe spot, going still unscathed. Now Ace waiting patiently on this exact elevated spot. You know, sometimes the best thing to do is to be patient, and especially on the side of
30
defense.
seconds
now
left.
They realized that Sammy got them the lead, so you know, EXCEELI Esports just staying in their battle stations, waiting for the right time. But it seems like he might have just spotted something is up as he drops the recon bolt. The Rolling Thunder does come out from Buster. Not going to catch anyone. Hey Crew finds
10
Strokey,
seconds left.
and that's going to be 3 members left. Now 8 seconds on the clock. Hey Crew comes out, but Clone is there to take him down. Now 1 second left till the spike is planted, and they did it just in time. Rebellious Gaming, 2v4 situation. Fancy comes in. He's the man of defense, gets a kill. Sammy as well, and that is going to be a flawless retake from the side of EXCEELI Esports. Now, I think Hate Crew did a great job there defending, especially that he did pick off Strokey, but then he died to Clone, but did put a significant amount of damage. But EXCEELI Esports so quick to rotate. I think that is the shining factor as opposed to Rebellious Gaming when they were on the side of defense. Because everyone was falling on the side of defense when Rebellious Gaming was on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. I think EXCEELI's sort of aggressiveness, Rebellious, they're finding it really hard to match the same. Because when EXCEELI was able to take sites in that fashion, even when they waited out the round and went for the last 30-second push, they're able to find the kills for themselves, which gives them the advantage to keep control of that site. But Rebellious not able to do the same. Having said that, I think the entire round was a bit of dominoes with Tchaikovsky going down in mid to Sammy, and a similar thing happening right here as EXCEELI once again getting first blood and getting 2 as Fancy finds Tchaikovsky. Shroki answers back though, and Shroki looking to pull through for his team right here. Does have his ultimate if he chooses to use it, but goes down to 5 HP and instead will get wall banged by Hate Crew up from rafters in a blind manner. 2v3 as Buster gets one more. Buster gets his second, 2v2. Buster looking to pull it back for his team. Shot dart from Hate Crew. Oh my god, 2v1.
Hate Crew with the shock dart. Clone, last man standing. EXCEELI Esports, they did take the first 2 kills and then they started to lose their members, but nonetheless, it seems like EXCEELI Esports is so close to a victory in taking map 1. Clone?
I have this fight.
He sprays while
30
blinded,
seconds left.
has his crosshair in the right spot, finds a kill on Zolo, but as he wants to do something fancy, Hate Crew's there, triple kill for him. Now Hate Crew is that silent
Match
player that is, you know, he goes unnoticed, but he's doing a lot for the contribution of his team. Now Hate Crew, he's just very well-rounded, and here this wall bang onto Strokey, that just proves the amount of skill and the amount of experience Hate Crew has, especially, you know, as a player, to be able to find that kill. It's just absolutely amazing. Now EXCEELI Esports with the match point. We'll see how SANE Rebellious Gaming is going to respond. But I do feel that Buster and Strokey, they've been playing not too bad on the side of Rebellious Gaming, but that's going to be a 2-for-1 right off the bat. Clone's really low, 10 HP there, CA.
Yeah, like Rebellious pushing multiple sites really aggressively, just not working out in their favor because Sammy, he switched up his positioning, using to hold down a short with the operator, able to find the opening kill. But now it's 3v3 as Rebellious look to answer back. They have the worst weaponry and they have lower HP bars, so it's going to be an extremely difficult task. But Ace gets taken down by Tchaikovsky. That's going to be 1 operator, 1 still left on Sammy. And Tchaikovsky throwing out the ultimate will give away a ton of information to the side of EXCEELI now. Sorry, to the side of Rebellious. Now, Tchaikovsky, it's going to be up to him because Clone's so low. He's going to be able to perhaps at best get a 1-for-1, but not actually would be able to help Tchaikovsky clutch that down. So Tchaikovsky, he has to go for the spike. They're nowhere near the spike. This is going to be an extremely difficult task for Rebellious, especially considering that it's match point for
30
EXCEELI.
seconds left.
Now Tchaikovsky charging in. Sammy finds the kill. Tchaikovsky doesn't quite connect that shot. He tries again, but Zolo's gonna wrap that up, and this is map 1 going over to the side of EXCEELI Esports. GG, well played there, and that was a brilliant performance, I would have to say, CA. That was really good. EXCEELI Esports, the new and improved version of them, is just such a treat to watch because they are players that have the potential, but they just weren't quite polished, and now they just seemed a lot more. And Zolo this time going to take the MVP spot, 299 average combat score with 23 kills. Absolutely mad. Now, we did speak about Sammy being at the top of the MVP board with 5 MVPs. It seems like Zolo might just gatekeep him from that. Now let's move into AMD's Relive the Moment and talk a little bit more about what went down in map number 1 of EXCEELI Esports versus SANE Rebellious Gaming. So Zolo coming out on top as MVP just proves how impactful he was on the side of attack, because he was the key to actually breaching, to being that initiator for EXCEELI Esports and to set his team up for success. And he would usually get, you know, the first pick off, or he would get double kills, or even when he's on site, taking over the site before the plant, he will find a frag. So, you know, little things like this is a huge contribution when this is primarily a team game made up of 5 people working for the same goal.
Yeah, To add on to that, I think what goes perhaps unnoticed by our viewers, Zolo, as we mentioned before, the captain of EXCEELI, he's the one calling the shots for the play changes. He's the one deciding if they're going to go for the aggressive play down A or B, or if they're going to try to take mid control. And that shot calling was on point this game. He was basically in the mind of Rebellious Gaming, knowing exactly what they would be expecting from EXCEELI. Now, I talked about this before the match started, right? You have a lot of information on how EXCEELI plays Ascent, and Zolo, he adapted to that. He knew that Rebellious would have done their homework, and he's able to counter that and play against that, doing really, really well for EXCEELI. What I'm really interested about is how this sets the stage for map 2, because we've never seen EXCEELI on Bind. We've seen plenty of Rebellious on Blind, so if Zolo is able to carry his form into Bind, you suddenly have to wonder if Rebellious are even favored on their home map.
Indeed, this was the pick for EXCEELI Esports, and they came out on top. They came out dominant. That is to be understood. The real challenge is going to be EXCEELI Esports on Bind, because we never really seen it, and Rebellious Gaming, they are comfortable with that map. But in terms of this game, Sammy as well, he pulled off an ace. So that was really cool. That was just nuts. He walked into A site and just got 1 kill, 2 kill, 3, 4, 5, and at the end it was a wrap. And meanwhile, if you looked at the minimap, all of his teammates were just chilling in their defensive positions as they got the spike planted. So, Sammy off doing his own thing, it's almost like, okay, if EXCEELI Esports, let's have a hypothetical situation. If EXCEELI Esports were figuring out their plan, it would be like, Sammy, you're the duelist, do whatever you want, just kill everybody. But the 4 of us, we're going to make sure that the spike is planted and we're there just in case. That's almost like what it seemed like.
Yeah, and I think that favors Sammy too, because just giving him that bit of freedom to carry his own plays, and I'm sure he's working in unison with the team, but that freedom to play aggressively or defensively depending on what the team wants to do enables a top class player like Sammy, gives him the confidence to go for those plays. And once he got that ace, it just seemed like there's a fire turned on Sammy, because he kept going for them and kept finding the headshots. So definitely huge plays by both teams. For Rebellious though, I will say that I think they looked really good in the starting stages of both maps. I think the adaptability of EXCEELI did end up getting to them, so they have to reset now. They have to acknowledge that EXCEELI, they just had a bit more experience on Ascent, and therefore had that extra adaptability and creativity in them. On their home map, they need to show the same thing that EXCEELI showed here. For Rebellious, I want to see some really insane TP plays, really insane map holdings on Bind, and just the ability to get EXCEELI confused and EXCEELI questioning their decisions, because that's what EXCEELI did to Rebellious on this map.
Oh, indeed. The thing about Rebellious, remember, after the pause, they came right back into the game. Oh, this is going to be the Sammy ace right here. Absolutely nuts. But back onto the topic of Rebellious Gaming. After the disconnect, and there was a pause, there was tech difficulties, when they came back, they did this insane B rush where they completely caught EXCEELI Esports off guard, and the round ended in a matter of 10 to 15 seconds. Now, taking EXCEELI Esports by surprise like that might just be the key to beating them. And Rebellious Gaming, they kind of figured that out, but to consistently do that, or to realize when is the right time to put that in place, takes a lot more experience and a lot more coordination. And I think ultimately this is why the teams come into a tournament like this. They want to sharpen all these different aspects of themselves. But the fact that Rebellious Gaming could pull that off, it looks a little bit more promising, and I think they might just actually shine in map number 2. So I'm really excited for that, CA. But nonetheless, this was a really great game. Map 1 on Ascent does go over to EXCEELI Esports. Now we are going to prep for map number 2, which will be on Bind. So you guys can take a chill pill, grab a snack, and relax. Remember, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 2, powered by AMD, and our media partner is AFK Gaming. We're going to go for a short break. Remember to like, subscribe, click that bell icon, and check out the links in the description for shopping or to keep up to date with our socials. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series 2, powered by AMD, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We're now ready with map number 2, pretty quick. Let's just move straight into the map screen and have a little bit of a refresh on what went down and what we have in store for you guys. So the first map was Ascent, and it was taken by EXCEELI Esports. Now map number 2 will be Bind, and this particular map pick was chosen by Rebellious Gaming. So once again, how do you think everything is going to go down after watching map 1? And how will both these teams approach Bind, you think, CA?
If you asked me at the start of the series, what are the chances for bind for either team, I would say 60-40 in the favor of Rebellious. After game 1, and specifically after it seems like the way EXCEELI have calmed down under like Zolo's leadership, I have to make it a bit of 55-45. Even then, I do think Rebellious have that tiny edge on bind. But for me, the two biggest things to keep an eye on are going to be Zolo, his leadership, but second and more importantly, perhaps Clone. Because Clone, over the last 4 matches before this map, he had an ACS of more than 400. He was the leading MVP player for the side of Rebellious. While he was decent in map 1, decent is not what you expect from Clone. I want to see him absolutely pop off. And his signature pick race is just that slightly bit better on bind because of the narrow corridors. So if Clone can pop off, I think that edge of 5% that I just moved could go back in the favor of Rebellious.
Oh my gosh, I think you just explained it completely true because yeah, I was leaning 60-40 in favor of Rebellious Gaming taking the map. But to shift it to 55-45, it makes sense in a way. And I'm leaning a little bit to 50-50 kind of because EXCEELI Esports, this is different. So, this is gonna be a cool one. Now, one thing I will say is that looking at Rebellious Gaming and the way that they played, they did fall short. But I did feel that they fell short in terms of communication, and they do have the potential to be unpredictable as well. And unpredictability equals mind games. And when you have mind games and mind control over the opponent, and you're able to kind of give them that sense of doubt, because the moment you doubt for a second, that could mean a kill or not. So we'll see how this pans out. EXCEELI Esports definitely representing Bangladesh. We have nicknamed them the pride of Bangladesh, making it up to the quarterfinals compared to where in Series 1 where they fell off at the round of 32. EXCEELI Esports, they are coming in guns blazing. They're here to redeem themselves. I would say it's redemption at this point.
So, for Rebellious, I definitely agree with you. But what I'm currently a bit shocked by is the composition for the side of Rebellious, because they have 3 duelists. You have the Phoenix, they have the Raze, and they have the Reyna. Now, Raze and Reyna, both players we saw last time around, clones races.
And it seems like...
Yeah, so 5v5, Buster picking up the Phoenix, I think really interesting for me, because Buster definitely a player that we know a lot about from Series 1, really strong player. So it'll be really interesting to see how they're able to pull out this triple duelist lineup. I think the Brimstone is a really good pairing up with it, just to set up the smokes and then go for the aggressive plays. So Rebellious definitely bringing something new for us, something I really am interested to see. We'll see how it pans out as Rebellious now in the attack, looking to make an aggressive push down B long. Buster on that Phoenix gets 2 already. Oh my god. Alright, I'm loving this pick already for Buster. Bit more of a reserve player generally, but now on the Phoenix able to utilize his true potential. The 3rd kill with the headshot. Buster absolutely popping off. We talked about how we wanted to see a bit more creativity from Rebellious, and Buster with the Phoenix with the 4K in map 1, I think we're seeing just that.
Wow, Buster coming in hot and heavy there, picking up 4 kills. That's just everybody on the side of EXCEELI Esports. Now, I do apologize. I did face some technical difficulties, but I'm back. And that's going to be Sammy finding the kill on Strokey. Now, who is going to be brave enough to get into that teleporter once again? But Sammy, he's just going to stay and chill. And he's shaking his screen saying, nope, you're not going to get me. I'm safe. But Doopy, we see a contender that might just go in, but Sammy dashes out, and it seems like he doesn't care. But Sammy, will he find the kill? No, Clone takes him down. Rebellious Gaming, this is their map pick. This is where they want to thrive, and they want to show you the true strength of SANE Rebellious Gaming. Now, I may be overhyping them, but hey, that was a pretty cool start from Buster there.
Definitely. I mean, I think the fact that they're able to pull out the triple duelist lineup after losing map 1 shows a lot for their mental, because they've 100% told themselves, guys, it's okay, we put up a decent fight in map 1, we fell apart a bit at the end, but now we can reset, we go on our home map, we take them down, and then we'll look at map 3 on split, where both teams are just unknown in terms of their potential. So Rebellious definitely looking really good now. Strokey with the just holding down Shovers will get 2. A bit of aggressive push from Sammy and Fancy right there, just running into Strokey.
You can almost feel like EXCEELI Esports was a little bit lost here, but equal round for the defenders. So Rebellious Gaming, definitely a very successful A-side takeover. EXCEELI Esports, they're going to play this one slow. They don't want to die for no reason. If they can pick up a kill, they're going to do that. And Ace shoots the 2 shots he has, finds the 3rd shot. And that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. 2v4 situation. EXCEELI Esports, they have time. It's not likely that they might win this round, but, you know, picking up a couple of kills, trying to pick up a gun as well to save will prove to be decent. But that's going to be Buster turning around, taking down Solo, and Hate Crew falls to Strokey. Third kill for that Reyna, and 2 rounds strong is Rebellious Gaming. Now, in map 1, it was a 2-0 scenario instantly. Rebellious Gaming came on top, so you do know that they're strong in pistol rounds. Now moving on to the third round, I think this might just be a little bit of a test to see how both these teams are going to fare up against each other. So whoever takes the round win, I think depending on how many members are left alive, we can kind of gauge and see if EXCEELI Esports has the potential here on Bind. As you know, we've seen them majority of the time on Ascent and mostly Rebellious Gaming on Bind.
With the run it back, Buster, who's been absolutely amazing this game, looking to push into A, will get a kill onto Ace. Buster just looking absolutely amazing. I did say I wanted Clone to step up, but I'm fine with it if another player in their team wants to carry that duelist potential for them. I talked about how I want to see the insane TP plays come out. You see just that as they make the rotation onto B.
Indeed, and the spike making their way. Solo finds the kill on Buster. 4v4 situation, Clone on 10 HP. This might just be in favor of EXCEELI Esports as Fancy finds Tchaikovsky. Cypher to Cypher there. And Fancy 9, the man of defense, have pulled up some amazing plays. Now Rebellious Gaming, they have gone for the rotation. Now we see the Brimstone there carrying the spike all the way to A-Shot. Now Sammy finds the kill on Clone. And it's all up to Strokey here to buy some time for the spike plant. And there it is. Now the time is ticking. Strokey gets taken down by Hate Crew and Khan. Last man alive. He is the controller for Rebellious Gaming. Previously on Omen, I believe, and now on the Brimstone. And that's going to be the last kill for Fancy. And a safe defuse for EXCEELI Esports, bringing the scoreline to 1 is to 2. Now in map number 1, EXCEELI Esports did bounce back and they managed to get the scoreboard to 2 is to 2. So EXCEELI Esports proving that, you know, the map pick might not be the issue for them here. They actually could fight this one out.
Definitely, I think I have to question a couple decisions made by Rebellious in this map though, because I like the TP play, but I like it if the entire team is going for it. You can leave maybe one person on A to deny rotations of any kind from EXCEELI, but both both Clone and Strokey staying on A just reduces their pushing power, because if Clone goes to B, they can use the paint grenade to push out Solo and then take control of B side. Instead, they split their resources and then get caught. And then towards the end, when Clone is peeking in an angle that Strokey is camping on, I'm just not sure about why Rebellious is not on the same page, but they can definitely bounce back. So we'll see who is able to pull out and be more consistent here. But Ace getting the opening kill. As you said, EXCEELI in the same pattern, once they get their weaponry, they look so much better.
Indeed, Strokey finds Ace. That's going to be a 1-for-1. Hate Crew there spotting Strokey, but Strokey does find one before he goes down. Now it's a 3v3. Rebellious Gaming not in a good spot as Sammy chimes in and finds Khan. Rebellious Gaming, they did opt for the buy. Clone does get the spray off. It's a 2v2 situation. Spike has been dropped. They could potentially pick this up and go for a rotate, but it's a 2v1 situation. Sammy, last man standing. He finds Clone, and it's a 1v1 now. It's all about Sammy against Tchaikovsky. Both of them. Let's see who comes out. Massive. Tchaikovsky finds the headshot on Sammy. Missed the shot, and, you know, one miss is all it takes.
I think Tchaikovsky, being really smart with the way he peeked there, he pushed really hard in towards the wall, knowing that Sammy is likely peeking that small spot around the corner, and just playing his life against Sammy's reaction speed. And that flick from Sammy does not go through, meaning Tchaikovsky has a chance to spray him down with his Phantom right here, as Sammy had to go for the reload on the operator. But the fact that Rebellious are able to pull back that round, absolutely huge, because in map 1 we saw after the 2-1, Rebellious pulling it back. Now, aggressive push by EXCEELI gets stopped instantly by Karn, getting the opening kill. Will get taken down as Tchaikovsky finds one, and both teams just going at each other now as Clone finds a kill with the boombot. Tchaikovsky with the operator will make it 4-1 for Rebellious, and Rebellious coming out strong right here.
Oh, indeed. Tchaikovsky picking up that operator, getting 2 kills off the bat. That is just so valuable. And Strokey does find the last kill onto Hate Crew before the spike even had a chance to be planted. You know, Rebellious Gaming, hey, we don't need a plant. We just take hits. That's going to be it. Point blank period. 4-1. Rebellious Gaming looking so dominant here on Vine. And this, you know, pointing a little bit into the direction of a potential map 3. But, you know, Rebellious Gaming, they have what it takes. And, you know, being strong on the side of attack for the map Vine takes a lot of coordination because it's not easy to attack. There's no mid area, something that we like to talk about. It's all about the two entrances that you have for both sides and how you coordinate with the teleporters. But that's going to be a massacre across the board. EXCEELI Esports ultimately coming out on top, and they have found a way to just stop this insane A-side push that has been done time and again from the side of Rebellious Gaming. See it.
Yeah, EXCEELI, they're like, okay, we tried this last round, but it was just our eco round. Now we have full weapons, we're gonna try it again, and they do it really, really well. The paranoia from Omen and the flash coming in from Breach to synergize with Sammy's aggressive dash meant that they're able to get the advantageous trade for themselves, get a 2v1 for themselves. Sammy did go down though, so they're a bit barren on the side of A in terms of holding it down. They used a significant bit of abilities, but Rebellious right now looking to be, and this is not something I would necessarily advise because Fancy with his Cypher is so good at holding the site down. It might be more smart for Rebellious to switch, but Tchaikovsky with the operator gets a kill onto a peeking Hate Crew. 4-1 for Rebellious Gaming right now. They will be able to take a site control just yet, just waiting on Buster to rotate up from A long before they do the save. And once they do that, it's going to be a really difficult retake for EXCEELI Esports.
Indeed, and the spike might just get initiated here. Buster finds the kill on Fancy, and this is going to be massive as Rebellious Gaming, they're coming back, just stopping the defenders. Khan finds the kill onto Zolo. Last man standing is Ace. 1v3 situation, and he has to get the defuse off just to get this round for EXCEELI Esports. But, you know, I think a save might be better, but Ace is going to go for the battle, and Khan just pushes the dark cover, takes out Ace, and that is going to be the 5th round for Rebellious Gaming. So, Rebellious, what looked like an advantage for EXCEELI Esports having more members, they're just having a tough time there going for the retake. They could be a little bit more coordinated. And the tricky thing about Bind is trying to go for that retake. You know, when you switch from site to site, there are barely multiple entries that you can come from, and a successful retake always involves crossfire, different angles, because it's just a lot harder for the communication to go across from the attackers when they are defending the spike. But nonetheless, we move into this next round, and it's going to be a small buy eco for EXCEELI Esports, and Hate Crew finds a kill with his Hunter's Fury. And that's going to kick off a good start. Might be a thrifty round. Sammy must have panicked there because Clone took him out. 4v4 now. Clone shot down to low health, and Ace in a comfortable position again, which he likes, in the corner on a raised platform, CA.
It's a standard Ace position, but now with multiple peaks coming in from Rebellious at the same time, something I have to know is so good from them will mean they're able to take him down. Clone on the flank takes down one, but gets answered by Zolo. But now Rebellious with side control and the spike planted will be able to hold down the side pretty comfortably. Doing just that, Tchaikovsky, I have to mention Tchaikovsky and Buster for me. They've looked so good this match as compared to the last map. Tchaikovsky with the operator on the attacking side, he's looking so good. I can only imagine the wonders he's going to be able to pull off on his defensive side.
Oh yeah, Tchaikovsky is playing just out of his mind there with the AWP. He was just so patient. Hate Crew going for this fight. And sometimes it's good, you know, to just change up your position. But Tchaikovsky there, he anticipated it and got that last killing blow. Let's just pull up the scoreboard real quick and see how everybody is doing. Now, Sammy at the top, but you can see the kills are kind of lacking on the side of EXCEELI Esports. Official Buster, Strokey, Tchaikovsky leading the pack, and it's understandable. Khan is on a more supportive role. You can see that his Brimstone smokes play a part in taking over site, but that's going to be Sammy with a double kill, trying to bring it back for Rebellious Gaming. The moment Sammy has the operator, he saved for it. It's going to be a tough one for the opponents. Now Strokey putting out the Leer, and this is going to be a good opportunity as he finds Fancy, but Hate Crew chimes in, picks up a double, and Rebellious Gaming is just left with Tchaikovsky and his operator to defend for himself. Might as well go for the save. The spike has been dropped, but knowing EXCEELI Esports, they might just find him. But Sammy, operator battle going on, triple kill for him. And good round for EXCEELI Esports. That's what you call a bounce back. Now in this first half, Rebellious Gaming, they've got 6 rounds for themselves. Now if EXCEELI Esports, they are going to fare better on the side of attack, they have to take more rounds for themselves right now. It's going to be really crucial in playing a part for their comeback. As for Rebellious Gaming, you know, if they're better in defense, they're doing absolutely perfect now because they've got decent rounds under their belt.
Definitely, I think the biggest difference in compositions for Rebellious right now, they've swapped in the Phoenix in place of the Breach and the Brimstone in place of the Omen, just sort of enabling individual players a little bit more to carry their own weight rather than having to rely on full-on team coordination, just getting that bit more freedom for themselves. But now, you see them making a push onto A. As you said, EXCEELI, they need to start pulling back rounds because on the defensive side, especially on Bind, it becomes a little harder against a team like Rebellious who have the experience doing the same. Okay, trade kill, Hate Crew getting through it, Fancy getting one will mean the spike is down and EXCEELI have the advantage. The Renewal Theft did go out and will reveal all of Rebellious. EXCEELI looking to fight back on the precipice of losing the lead. Spike Carrier once more goes down. 3v1 for EXCEELI, looking to win their 2nd round in a row.
Tchaikovsky in a tough spot there, but Fancy's gonna wrap that up. And that is going to be the 3rd round for EXCEELI Esports. So it seems like, you know, after multiple rounds, EXCEELI Esports kind of got a feel of what Rebellious Gaming is about, how they choose to attack, and EXCEELI is ultimately reading into their actions. So to be able to get 2 rounds for themselves back-to-back does prove that, you know, the gears are working, it's constantly turning, and they're trying to dish out new ways to approach every round to secure the win. Now, with that being said, Rebellious Gaming still with a 3-round lead. They've been playing out of their mind, and we cannot forget the impact from both Strokey, Buster, Tchaikovsky. If they can just pull this together, it will definitely come out a lot more flawless. Now, we can see Rebellious Gaming very spread out. Buster will be met with an ult, but he's too quick and takes down Ace. Now, around the corner, Fancy does find him. And that's going to be a 4v4, even trade, not too bad. Zolo finds Clone, and Rebellious Gaming put in a tough spot. Now let's see how they're going to regroup and approach this as Strokey does take down Sammy. He is on A side, and there is a lurking Zolo. This is going to be a cool one, CA.
Yeah, you see Karn trying to make up his mind between A and B, now moving towards A, will end up finding his path onto this camping Zolo. If Zolo is able to turn on time, he will get the kill, but instead he's focused on the other angle, which means Karn gets taken down and a low health Tchaikovsky is saved. 3v2 right now in favor of Rebellious as they look to get the spike planted. I really like the way Strokey, he played it really slow, whereas Buster on the other side played it really aggressively. That sort of forced the communication that they might need support at B, and once that partial rotation comes through, Strokey just goes in and is able to get a frag for himself, just sort of controlling the site. Now Strokey with another, but Hate Crew answering back will mean it's 2v1. Strokey just getting caught out of the ending part of that animation, not able to pull out his gun fast enough. Hate Crew playing really well, but Rebellious answers back means that they're going up 7-3. Now, if Rebellious are able to make it 8-4, I'm just a bit unsure if EXCEELI, even if they play brilliantly, can pull it back, because Rebellious, they look so good on defense, especially on their home map.
What looked like poor communication on the side of Rebellious Gaming on the map Ascent, it was really just, you know, a situation of being uncomfortable with that map pick. But Rebellious Gaming now, they're showing a tremendous amount of teamwork this time on this map. Now Khan, he does get hit with the Rolling Thunder, and EXCEELI Esports pulling a little bit of the unpredictable, pushing out, but Rebellious Gaming, they're backing off. And there is the ultimate, but Clone, 1-for-1 trade there, does fall to Ace. 7-3 on the board. Rebellious Gaming with a 4-round lead. EXCEELI Esports, they definitely want this one for themselves and at least the next two because it is almost going to be the side swap. Now, Crew finds the kill onto Buster. He's spraying out of his mind for the 3 situation, but the spike is going to A side. So all the defenders from EXCEELI, they are on B. They find Tchaikovsky, but the spike will get planted. So 300 credits for the side of Rebellious Gaming.
Spike
Now,
planted.
the big task is to defend 2v4 situation. Now, Strokey, he's going to be that aggressive one, has all abilities up. Strokey comes out, gets the kill onto Fancy, just going to reposition. Perfect choice, but too quick to peek. And Ace and Zolo both pick up a kill. And that's going to be another round for EXCEELI Esports. 4-7. And, you know, for a map where we don't see EXCEELI Esports play a lot on, I think this is definitely a much better start.
Is diffused.
Definitely, I think they are looking much better than we could have expected them
Last
to
round
look,
in the
especially
match.
considering Rebellious have the triple duelist composition, which becomes so hard to counter into attack. They have that Brimstone instead of the Omen with the Molly that is able to just clear corners. So EXCEELI looking decent, but they need the next 2 rounds ideally, but a minimum of 1 round at least, because 9-3 if they were to go to the other side now, that would be an almost impossible mountain to climb. So EXCEELI, they need to start pulling back. They need to pull back this round. So we will see what they're able to do in this final round of the first half. 3 ultimates for EXCEELI though, the Jet, the Sova, and the Omen. So they definitely can look to make some plays, but Ace getting 2 instant kills with Buster and Tchaikovsky pushing down B long. Sammy takes down Clone. EXCEELI look like they might just make it 7-5, and that would be huge.
Wow, Ace stepping up indeed. Now Sammy here with the operator. He's pretty deadly. Spots Strokey. How did he connect that shot, Sammy? Oh my god. Yeah, but he does get that Khan left to defend for himself. And that's going to be a triple for Ace. Flawless round for EXCEELI Esports. As now we move into the side
Switching
swap.
sides.
5-7. That was a very fair matchup. Now EXCEELI Esports can only hope that they perform a lot better on the side of attack to wrap this up and move over to the upper brackets in the semi-finals. But for Rebellious Gaming, if they are much more comfortable on defense, that's going to be a hard ask for the Pride of Bangladesh.
I think Rebellious, they're going to be a bit unhappy with the fact that it ended up being 7-5 because they were looking much more dominant in the attacking phase, and I think they could have gone for the 8 or 9 rounds, but they'll still be moderately happy with it considering that they are in the lead, and their triple duelist comp is working out just fine. Like, the idea of giving Buster the Phoenix over the Breach is like, it just puts so much pressure on him, because if he doesn't perform, suddenly you don't have the extra utility the Breach brings, because while Phoenix and Breach both have their flashes, Breach just has that extra power in terms of his ultimate and just being able to set his teammates up. Phoenix, much more individual, much more solo carry, but Buster, he's able to step up, do just that. I'm really interested to see what they're doing in defense, because you see the Cypher not setting up on his usual A spot, usual B spot, setting up in A, and I think this is playing into the fact that Tchaikovsky will eventually carry the operator.
Here.
Oh, indeed. Remember, guys, this is the TEC... Sorry, remember, this is the LG Ultragear TEC Challenges Series 2. Now, this is the second series, and you are watching EXCEELI Esports against SANE Rebellious Gaming. And Clone does find Boombot kill onto Sammy. Tchaikovsky chiming in, takes down Fancy. And Rebellious Gaming, they have consistently been the better team when it comes to the pistol rounds. Now, Crew gets a kill using that shotgun. Zolo finds Buster. Now it's a 3v3 even matchup. And Zolo finds the 3rd kill. Man, oh man, Zolo.
Spike
He
planted.
just put his team in such a good spot here. Strokey, he's sneaking in from the buffs. And that is a jumping Crew that completely did not expect that. Now, the beauty of Reyna is the heals. He's going to pick up that ghost. The fault line does connect, but it doesn't do any damage. And Strokey does not find the kill as Ace takes him down, but that's going to be 6-7 as EXCEELI bounces back inch by inch, slowly but surely. Man, CA. And you know, the next round might be just an equal round for Rebellious Gaming, so this could mean that the scoreboard would be equal.
Yeah, definitely. I think Rebellious, they're just not communicating fully because while they started the round off really well, you saw in the middle of the round where Zolo got the 3 kills, he was stuck in that tiny cubby right next to the teleporter, and Karn from the other side and Clone from this side both were closing in. Both of them turned away from the cubby at the exact same time, neither of them checking it, meant that Zolo is just able to get easy 2 kills and get the advantage for his team. Rebellious, they do need to fix those small communication issues because against a top team like EXCEELI, those issues can end up being the difference. Now, EXCEELI getting the opening kill, as you mentioned, the eco round for Rebellious, EXCEELI looking to make it even and answer back. Strokey with the shorty though gets a kill for himself. 4v4 right now, Zolo answering back. 4v3, EXCEELI looking to push A once again.
Spike planted.
Man, EXCEELI Esports, it might not be the map pick, but they are definitely showing the competition that, hey, we are adaptable. And last man standing is Khan. Equal round for them, so Khan here just lurking in the back. And Zolo will find that last kill. 7-7. And actually, EXCEELI Esports, they are looking pretty strong on attack. But, you know, this next round will decide everything as they will go for full buys. Now, just narrowing it down to specific players. On the side of EXCEELI Esports, Zolo has just consistently been so reliable as an initiator on the breach pick. It's like he's so comfortable. He doesn't have to think about using his abilities and how to do it. And one thing that we don't give EXCEELI Esports a bit more credit for is their use of combos. They're very ready to, you know, use their skills in unison to get the advantage. And Rebellious Gaming also has been doing that consistently, especially with the Reyna's near. But Strokey will be the first man to find the kill onto Ace. Hate Crew chimes in, gets the revenge kill, and that's going to be 4v4. Sammy here just, you know, not as flashy. Sammy's super flashy on Ascent, but Bind, you can see that he's a little bit more toned down here.
Yeah, definitely. A bit sort of just letting his teammates shine, to be perfectly honest, because one of the other players that's been really, really good for EXCEELI this map is Hate Crew. The multiple shock dart kills coming out, putting him on top of the fraggers list, just carrying forward his momentum from the latter half of the first map, where we were talking about how he goes unnoticed. Now he's in the spotlight, in the limelight, just carrying his weight and carrying his team. 4v4 right now, though, in the buy round for Rebellious, they need to start pulling back. They did start pulling back similarly in the second half after losing the first 2 rounds. So can they do the same?
Left.
We will see. EXCEELI, though, making their way onto A, forcing rotations from all of Rebellious. It's gonna be EXCEELI getting the first kill in this rotation. Zolo and Sammy getting one each will mean it's 4v2 for EXCEELI. EXCEELI with the spike planted, looking to take the lead for the first time in this match.
Ooh, Khan does find the kill on Sammy, but Hate Crew's there to just pick that up. And Tchaikovsky, last man standing, and Fancy will take him down. And this is the first time in Map 2 that EXCEELI Esports have found themselves with a lead. 1 round lead. So just bouncing back. Rebellious Gaming. Not looking as sharp on the side of defense, I will say. But EXCEELI Esports, it feels like another team is playing. It's just insane how coordinated they are. How much more disciplined as well, and the patience, you know, no more mindless aggression. You know, I literally have on my notes that EXCEELI Esports is such an aggressive team, but through the course of this series 2, this Challenger series 2, they have just completely switched it up for the better. Now that's going to be Sami finding Buster this time. He's going to try an entry frag, but Khan is there to one-tap him down, and Zolo 4 HP, just gonna pop the flashes, and Ace finds Khan. Now it's a 4v3, Rebellious Gaming. Eco for them, as they did with the previous one, but Tchaikovsky takes out Zolo. Could be a thrifty round. Kills across the board. Last man standing is Clone, and that's gonna be a double from Hate Crew. The silent assassin on the side of EXCEELI Esports, and that brings the scoreboard to 9-7. Rebellious Gaming, they have a lot of work to do. They've got to bounce back if they want another shot to continue their win streak in the upper brackets.
Definitely. I mean, I think on the point you started the round off with about EXCEELI's like difference in the way they play, we're still seeing the aggression that they generally have, but instead of the aggression being from individual players, they come in unison with the other players, much more synergizing. Just as I was talking about, hard push by EXCEELI into A short, they get the opening kill because multiple members peeking at the same time. It means that while the aggression stays, the mindless part of it is gone. Much more calculated is this EXCEELI, looking to get this 2-0 in the quarterfinals. Sammy with one, Sammy with another. Sammy starting to pop up. Now he's like, enough of Hate Crew, enough of the other team members shining. It's my time to shine. Buster answering back, will mean it's 2v2. Buster with his third, 2v1. Rebellious not gonna go down without a fight. Buster putting out the hot hands to just clear out the angles. Tchaikovsky with the op will get the last kill. And Rebellious answers back to make it 9-8. Absolutely huge.
Oh, they even shared the defuse there. That's gonna be extra moolah in the bank. But Rebellious Gaming, one thing that we have learned is that even if the score line is not in their favor, we saw this in map 1 as well, is that they do have a pretty strong mental. So even though they lose the lead, they're not just gonna give up. They're still going to try and press on until the game officially is done. It's a wrap and it moves on to the scoreboard. So that's a really good point about Rebellious Gaming as a team. Now looking at the scoreboard, Hate Crew with 18 kills. Coming out massive. It's not going to be Solo at the top this time, it's going to be Hate Crew. So this might be the map where Hate Crew's more like, hey guys, you know, we play on Ascent, but you know, Bine's really going to be the one. And just continuing this on, Zolo here looking for the attack into Hookah, and it seems like EXCEELI Esports is going to go for this B side. Zolo drops the ulti and has no clue right behind the trigger control, but that tremor's just too much. He's impaired and Buster comes in with a double kill. He might just buy more time for his team, and this is the second time that he has successfully impacted a round's win, but not so fast. Hate Crew's there to save the day, and that is going to be 10 rounds, first to double digits. EXCEELI Esports. Now this is getting very thrilling, CA, because you know a lot is on the line for Rebellious Gaming, and EXCEELI Esports, they are so close to victory as well.
Definitely, EXCEELI Esports are looking really good with their pushes, using their abilities, especially the way Zolo used the Seismic Blast to clear out the left-hand corner of the hookah. Just looking really good. What I would prefer to see from Rebellious though, instead of this laid-back playstyle, what really worked for them in their attacking half was playing aggressive, taking the fight to their opponents. I want to see more of that. I want them to start making aggressive pushes, using the Phoenix Flash to do the same. Sammy dashing in after getting the kill on Shroki, gets another onto Clone. Fancy with 2 means EXCEELI it's gonna be who's gonna be really aggressive, getting that flawless round for themselves. That aggression from EXCEELI is what I want to see more of from Rebellious, but EXCEELI just leading the charge, full-on momentum swing in their favor, looking to drive it all the way home.
Indeed, EXCEELI Esports here, just playing out of their mind. But Sammy there, you know, getting these double kills, Fancy as well chiming in. It's almost safe to say that Sammy is not... the whole team of EXCEELI Esports isn't relying on Sammy like how they used to. It was almost like we saw successful rounds depending on the success of Sammy's number of frags, but that's not the case anymore. Sammy, however, still a very aggressive player. If he's not on the off, he's on a rifle, he's gonna push, and that's gonna be Zolo there picking up a double. Give me the spotlight, Sammy, he says, but Sammy jumps right onto their vehicle, picks up the kill, and Rebellious Gaming, they are watching the upper bracket semifinals just slip away from their hands. They might have to go into the lower brackets and fight their way back to the top. So remember guys, if you are a fan of Rebellious Gaming, this is not the last time that you will see them if they lose this, but they are still going to try their best, and let's see if Rebellious will put this, will change the game into their favor as Khan finds the kill using their orbital strike. Fancy picks up the kill, not quite. Hate Crew steps in, don't worry Fancy, I got you, double kill to end it off, and that is match point for EXCEELI
Match point.
It has been so huge this map. He's stepping up every single round, getting multiple kills every single round, just popping right off. I have to say, both the maps, they feel like a bit of marathon race where like in the starting, both the runners, they look really close and they're fighting blow for blow. But as it goes on just that little bit longer, as we reach the later stages of the race, it's EXCEELI Esports who's looking like the more built, the more experienced runner with that final burst, just able to push right ahead. They did a similar thing in map 1. They're doing this now in their away map, looking to push it home with the match point. Sammy, so aggressive with the knives, gets the opening kill.
And this is Sammy coming in with the daggers, and he's just going to throw them into their faces. And there it is. Sammy comes in, but he's just going to dash out. Tchaikovsky, however, picks him up. Sammy a little bit too cocky there, but Rebellious Gaming, they're going to try with a retake. 3v4. Kills across the board, and this might just be all up to Clone, and that is a wrap. EXCEELI Esports make it over to the semi-finals in the upper bracket. Brilliant display of skill here. EXCEELI Esports so ready to show everybody that, hey, you can depend on us. We are the pride of a country. You can rally behind us. You can support us. We will not let you down. We are constantly improving every single day, and we have just shown it here today on both Ascent and Bind against SANE Rebellious Gaming. That was a fantastic best of 3 CA. Hate Crew there, 308 combat score, 22 kills. What do you have to say about that?
I think I have to go back to my like top rankings of teams in the tournament and sort of reevaluate a little bit, because this is not the EXCEELI I was expecting to see out here today. I was expecting a bit more like flashy EXCEELI, a bit more like Sammy just popping the hell off EXCEELI. The way Zolo and Hate Crew and even the other members of the team, the way they stepped up today, like Sammy, if I was Sammy right now, I'm feeling such a big pressure, a weight lifted off myself, and the freedom to just be as aggressive as he was today. The entire team's fate does not rely on his hands anymore. So EXCEELI and the entirety of Bangladesh suddenly looking so much stronger. I have to go back and check out like where they stand amongst the other teams.
All right, guys, if you want to hear us talk more, let's just move into the AMD's Relive the Moment, and we are going to recap on what happened between EXCEELI Esports and Rebellious Gaming. This was just such an explosive best of 3. Now, if for the viewers, if you're wondering why we are so shocked at the performance of EXCEELI Esports, it's because all of Series 1 and for maybe about the first half of Series 2, EXCEELI Esports was that team that had so many highlight clips from Sammy, because Sammy was that key component of EXCEELI Esports' success. He was always the one to get multi-kills. He was flashy, he was mindlessly aggressive, and he kind of left the rest of his team behind. But now, EXCEELI Esports, every single member has a highlight. Every member has stepped up in pressurizing situations. It's no longer a Sammy and 4 guys show. It's an EXCEELI Esports show. It's just all about this team. The teamwork is amazing. You can see the communication has improved. When you can visually see the improvement from a team, it's always just such a treat. And I think Rebellious Gaming, you know, they might not have expected that. And Rebellious Gaming, for me, as a team, they are strong. They have their strengths. Just unfortunately today, they kind of fell short just by a bit, because the scoreline wasn't that big of a gap. But, you know, it's just not the day for Rebellious Gaming. They didn't manage to quite come on top for this quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think to go back to what we talked about during the map selection screen, where like for me the two most important points to note were gonna be Zolo's leadership and Clone's like just ability to frag. I did not see as much of Clone, but what came unexpectedly for the side of EXCEELI was, even though Zolo, he looked just as consistent, as reliable as ever, Hate Crew, he just stepped up so hard right here. Sova is such a difficult agent to pilot on a map like Bind, because you have to make sure that your recon bolts are able to give your team enough information to go through, and you have to use your shock darts in the narrow corridors to clear like the corners for your team. He was not just able to do that, but he's also able to pick up the kills with the shock darts, just adding up, making him the MVP of this map. Hate Crew absolutely just popping off this game. Really an amazing sight for me to see. As you said, like for EXCEELI, our journey with EXCEELI has been in Series 1, they stepped out a little too early, and the growth we've seen from there is just beautiful. I do want to take a second to talk about, like, what do you think goes on in the team behind Zolo in terms of, like, the way he's able to lead his team, the visual aspect of how we see his leadership is just so cool. We don't get to see that in many other teams.
Oh, indeed. It's almost like, you can see that everybody is listening to one cohesive plan because EXCEELI Esports, we didn't find them just randomly losing their lives across the map. And that was something that was very common from EXCEELI Esports. There could be one player on the far left, like let's say on bind, one player's on long, happens to die, another player on short dies, and it's left to the players that are lurking around hookah and showers, and that's just a disconnect. To regroup and strategize while the defense might be pushing onto you as an attacker, that can happen. But EXCEELI Esports, they were very coordinated. If they needed a lurker, the lurker did their job. If they wanted to go onto site, and one thing that was very new was after the spike was planted, how EXCEELI Esports would just break away into battle positions and watch every single angle. And I think Rebellious Gaming kind of lacked on that a little bit. So that was where, the small edge is everything. It matters when the competition is just so close now at the point of the quarterfinals. So Rebellious Gaming, we wish you guys all the best. You can still make it out of the quarterfinals, lower brackets, and fight for a top spot. But ultimately, congratulations to EXCEELI Esports for winning this quarterfinals, and you guys move on to the semifinals. Just absolutely amazing. They have a whole country behind them. They are the pride of Bangladesh, we like to say. And this is just an amazing performance. I would say one of the highlights for EXCEELI Esports here in the Challengers Series 2. Now, guys, if you are enjoying this content, remember we do have a second game much later, and that is going to be Level 5 versus Global Esports at 7 p.m. So like, subscribe, click that bell icon, and you can catch both those teams go head to head. Now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Apollonia. I was your host and caster, and joining me was CA, caster, and analyst. If you want to keep up to date with us, follow our socials. Links are in the description, and you can go shopping as well. Links are there too. So without further ado, we'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Take care. Until then.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, Thank you.